Yes! All right, let's get this started. So, totally, I didn't know this was going to happen, but no worries. We're going to have a great time. Let's talk about voice user interface design for GUI designers. So, I'm kind of demystifying voice here, like designing for Amazon Alexa, Google Home. My name's Tim. I'm from Toronto. I drove from Canada here. I've worked on voice engagements with NBA, PGA Tour, 1-800-Flowers, and a few more. And I also do mobile web and all of that. So a voice user interface pretty much highlights all of the user interactions within a voice application, or as we call them, skills as well. It's kind of like the source of truth as to what exactly is going on with an Alexa skill or a Google Home action. Voice apps are made out of things called intents, which is what I like to think of as like, oh, what do you intend to do with this app? So long story short, they're pretty much like features, high-level features that we then have to sort of map out. And it's kind of like this. They're like the ingredients of voice apps. So if we have a pizza ordering skill, some of the intents could be like ordering, reordering, or cancel your order. These are just a few. Like, it gets a lot more complex than this. But, you know, we only got 5 minutes. Kind of like Instagram, for instance, right? If you look at the screen here, you have send a message, you have I can't read that, some kind of other feature, post a comment, or search. So all these different features make up Instagram. All different intents make up what a voice application is. And to determine those intents, we just follow the same sort of human-centric approach in terms of research and sort of problem framing to understand what it is that we're solving with this voice app. Do we need a voice app? What does it look like? What are the prioritized features? So from there, we establish the user flow. So let's say in ordering a pizza, there are certain things that the user needs to go through from start in order to get to finish. We start off by identifying those flows and then writing happy paths. So you know how the flows would work, but how do they actually sound like? Literally sort of write out a script as if the user was talking to Alexa or Google Home, per se, to see how these interactions would play out. Here's an example of a potential happy path, for instance. If somebody opens a pizza ordering skill and asks to order a pizza, they have to specify, I think I wrote size there, and then also toppings, for instance. And at every point, make sure that, you know, that user is heard. And once we have that happy path established, we have to expand on it with what I like to call these VUI flow diagrams, where each feature gets its own page dedicated to all the different sorts of logic, error handling, and pretty much anything that could happen. Similar to GUI design, we have to make sure functionality and constraints are clear. Of course, this is much harder because you can't really see what you're working with. So you have to communicate this with dialogue, saying, for example, like you can do this or this, what would you like to do? Kind of like here, you know how we have the diagram of like a light switch, you flicker the light switch on and off. The feedback would be you see the light turn on. So in terms of voice, making it clear in terms of the dialogue, what you can do, and let them know where they are. One more thing is you have to generate utterances, because with voice there's so many different ways to order a pizza. Like, I want pizza, order a pizza, give me pizza. Even things that aren't grammatically correct, you know, just to make sure that's the optimal user experience for people who might not say things the way you expect. Also handling errors gracefully. If something goes wrong, tell them what they can do in order to recover from it. Similar to, you know, how we have error modals when something happens on a GUI. Oh, there we go, my meme. So I put a meme out for the millennials out here. Hope it's still relevant, but edge cases. There's going to be lots of edge cases, especially with voice. In this next example, let's say I am asking to play a radio show, right? The show might not exist. The show could exist, but there's a connection issue. The show might also be the same name as a podcast, or the show is taken off for some reason, or we just don't have the rights to play it. And lastly, just like visual interfaces, make sure to prototype it and get in front of people. The way we did this is, there are prototyping tools out there. I've also done it where I actually pretended to be Alexa or Google Home and ran through a script with somebody else. Oh, that's me right there. Hi, I'm Alexa. Where I pretended to be Alexa and actually talked to the user the way we sort of wrote it out to see if there's any hiccups in the dialogue, and also if there's any utterances that the user would say that we haven't actually accounted for in our list. There's lots to go over. This is 5 minutes. Feel free to hit me up on LinkedIn afterwards. This was a little bit of an improv, but thank you all for, you know, staying here. Yeah. Love you, Ann Arbor. Yeah, much love from Canada.